And then the next one, let me think. We've got somebody. Oh my God. I asked my mother, the same questions as well. Told her my scenario, what was happening, and here's my advice. I want you to ask me. Go. No, I want advice from you. What? No advice. Okay, go ahead. Okay, my question is, what would you do in the scenarios? I'm currently working out at the gym, but I wanted to say that this next person is my coworker. This is a conversation we had, and again, it was. I think what this process is showing me is that it's just about getting different perspectives, and every perspective has its own uniqueness to it. Even though it may not necessarily be conducive to what I think, it's still good to hear. And at the end of the day, it also creates a connection and strengthens the connection with my coworker. I think. So yeah, it's a one for one for me. So all right, yeah, next. Where do I even start? I Okay, so 2 years ago, I was talking to this guy online, and
Hi, how are you?
well, he lives in a different country than me, like he lives in Europe,
Okay.
right? And we talked about our meeting each other and our attraction for each other and stuff like that. However, we haven't obviously had the opportunity to meet each other, so like go any further than just being friends.
Mm-hmm.
And a week ago, like maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, he told me that he now is in a relationship.
Oh no.
And I've never dealt with that. I don't know how to.
Process it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely a lot better now. Um, but like I've been kind of like losing sleep over it a little bit because it's just like,
He could have gave you a heads up or
yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
It's just gonna hit me all at
So
once, type of
abruptly.
thing. So my question is, or if you can, is what advice would you give me moving forward? And then if you were in my shoes dealing with similar situation, what would you do?
Just process your feelings, and it's good to feel all your emotions. If not, then you're going to use those emotions that you didn't deal with in other relationships that you encountered. And also understand that it could just be the long distance
Yeah.
that made it difficult. Just when you're in a relationship, physical contact and all that stuff is important.
For sure, yeah.
And then what was the other question?
What advice would you give to yourself if you were in this situation?
Just try not to be so hard on myself and know that it wasn't my decision to end things or not pursue things. And there's always somebody out there for you. Everybody has somebody. And
That is true.
it will happen, I feel like, when you least expect it and when you're not looking for it, but when you're ready for it.
Right. So how'd you meet with your partner?
I met him in high school.
Are you guys like high school sweethearts?
No, we were friends in high school, and then
Uh-huh.
when I went to college, we started hanging out more, and then became a couple. Oh, we've been together for like 8 years
Wow.
before we got engaged.
What have you learned about yourself in 8 years?
Oh, that you really have to grow with that person and be willing to like forgive and understand that you're not going to be the same person you were a year ago, let alone 5 years ago. Like everybody changes, your situations in life change you, sometimes not for the better.
How do you deal with arguments?
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna get too
I mean, how do you if your fiance did something you didn't like, how would you address it?
I probably wouldn't say something at first unless he did it again. Or he knows me so well that if something's bothering me, even if I don't say something like
You're like, I should have done that.
the way that I act towards him or my tone, it's hard for me to communicate.
Oh. Like you naturally tend to want to hold things in and stuff?
Yeah.
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 And then it's not.
It's not good.
Oh.
It's not a good thing whatsoever. Conversations where like you don't want to figure it out And then I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it, which doesn't help the situation. But we both have to work on the way we communicate with each other and learn each other's love language and the way to not argue but communicate.
That's so good. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Well, wait, has you come to the gym before? Wow. Okay. Um, I'm gonna try and not look at my face, but at the camera this time. There were other conversations that I had off camera, of course. She didn't want to be recorded. Was my friend Mimi? She's a bit older. Wonderful, wonderful soul. Loves nature and things like that. I asked her the same question. What should I do? What her thoughts were. I wanted to get a piece of her wisdom as well. I wanted to know her ideas around compromise. I painted the scenario. The scenario was you are a person that believes in equality, right? Which I am. I believe in equality. So the scenario is you meet a person that you enjoy. You like the person that you are when you're around them. It's all the good signs. However, they have a child. Being the person that you are, believing in equality, that's not that's kind of a problem. And so how would she handle that situation in terms of compromise? And what was interesting was in her explanation of what she would do and decision making, compromise wasn't the words that she used. It was more tactical by nature. Like what she said was basically how to go about it, which was to love the child. Love the child, then the relationship will be okay. It'll be fine, because that is the person they're going to work for. They're applying the needs for. They're caring for the child, and they may love the child more than you, at least for the beginning of it. And I found that very interesting. That maybe the concepts we have around compromise aren't the full picture, or we can use better language. Obviously, compromise exists, but perhaps everything isn't about what I need to give up to be with someone. Yeah, that's not compromise at all, is it? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so anyway,